Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about, when we ask ourselves, why do I keep attracting the same situations, the same people over and over and over again in my life, and how we can figure out why this is and what we can do about it. So for me, I had a lot of experience with making the same mistakes over and over again, but with different people in different situations. And I really wasn't sure why I was attracting these things because it's not what I wanted. And it wasn't even that I was mirroring or was exactly the same to the situation or person. But sometimes when we have unresolved energy in our bodies and in our mind and spirit and heart, it's one of those things that we have to really get rid of, even if it's not obvious. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go through and pinpoint and dissect every square inch of your past. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's learning to identify how you feel. Okay, no matter how it is in your body, okay, it's not going to lie to you. It's not going to lie to you. So if you ask yourself, how does this feel? It really doesn't matter what the situation is that caused the feeling. And the reason, and how I mean that, is because the energy that's stuck in there, you may not even remember what the situation was. You may not even in this lifetime, from my perspective, in my opinion, maybe that energy is from a different lifetime. Maybe that energy is from your DNA, from your relatives who were carrying on this energy. So you keep attracting these things. It could be just as innocent as that, or something that you've done to create this yourself. It could be past situations in your life. No matter what, it could be something that happened yesterday or something that happened before you were born. What matters is how it makes you feel, because your body does not know the difference between if this is happening to you right now or if this happened to you years ago or in a different lifetime. So if you don't correct how you feel, you're not going to correct anything. You can't correct all these outward circumstances before you can correct it inside. It just doesn't work like that. And these are lessons that I've learned that have helped me, because in my past, I was just like everybody else, attracting a lot of the wrong things that I was thinking to myself, why does this keep happening to me? I'm not this way. So why am I attracting this? Because I, always knew like attracts like. And so this just wasn't adding up for me. So this helped me add this up for myself. And now I see it in other people. And I'm not saying that I have all this mastered, but sometimes I see it in other people in other situations, right? Where they just go, oh my gosh, I just keep meeting, let's say, this type of girl or this type of guy, and they always end up just being crazy. Okay, just because this is happening to you doesn't make you the crazy one. It's not that you're what you are attracting, it's just this unresolved chaotic energy that might be attracting these situations and this energy into your life. And if you don't have your energy under control, and if you don't know how you feel or why you feel or what you feel based on certain things, and you ask yourself and you're kind of confused, okay, go back into how does that make you feel? Okay. How does being confused make you feel? And then dig into maybe why. And if you can't answer these questions and it's just kind of a blurry feeling, that's just chaotic energy that you just probably need to, like I said in yesterday's video, unplug. Unplug, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, and start taking things out of your life that are causing chaos. Stop trying to add more in. Okay. And this is something that I have learned, especially during lockdown, because I was sort of forced into that. I think a lot of us were. But I realized the quality of life and how my energy shifted and how I stopped attracting certain things. Now, this has been a very gradual process. So over the last 5 years, there were a lot of things that I attracted that still hadn't been resolved. And there's always going to be, right? Until you reach, I guess, what people say, full enlightenment, if you believe that. I think that it's like life is like a video game. I've said in my other videos, and you're learning these lessons and you're learning how to plug in and unplug and kind of rewire your operating system and updating it as best as you can. So That being said, when you have these chaotic events that keep happening and you're like, why is this happening? Maybe stop putting more in your life. Take stuff out and sit with that silence. And if you feel like you've sat with that silence and you're uncomfortable, that's when you get to go out and you can learn these lessons and you can hang out with people and you can sign up for new classes or try different things, move to a new place, whatever that is for you. Okay. And that new adventure. And even if it's something as small as going out to a coffee shop and just talking to somebody or meeting somebody new, even if it's just a friendship, okay? Or they're a future acquaintance that you just wave to every morning. Hi. Use these circumstances to practice how you feel. Like, are you saying hi to people because you feel like you have to, because you feel like your job is to brighten everybody's day? Because I find that I do that sometimes. But what place is it coming from? Is it coming from a place? And you'll know the difference because we've all experienced being in alignment and being out of alignment. We've all experienced feeling where you're like, hi, and you wave at someone because you feel that that's the polite thing to do. Or are you waving at someone because you genuinely feel joyous, whether you know this person or not, and you're like, hi, right? These types of things are something to be very aware of. So, one is a form of manipulation. It really is. And I'm not saying, and I think that when people talk about manipulation, they immediately put their guard up and go, I'm not manipulative. Okay. We all have a tendency to be manipulative because that's human nature for survival. But it's when we overuse it and use it in the wrong ways that we all get mixed up. And there are people out there that that's literally how they live their life. They manipulate you. And if you don't have your energy intact and you don't have a good hold on who you want to be and what you want in your life based on your core values and how it makes you feel, you're going to end up in these situations where people have manipulated your energy. So, have you ever met those overkind people? And this is what I'm talking about, that when you wave and go, hi, and you feel like it's a mask you almost have to put on, doesn't make you a bad person at all. Okay. This is, a lot of times we're taught this when we're little. Be polite, smile, like that sort of thing. Say hello, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, these types of things, and that's for social politeness. Okay. But when we're using it and when people use it to lay out a certain outcome, this is done in business a lot, that's okay. When it's not okay, of course, make sure you get your stuff in writing, right? Okay. I'm not giving business advice. This is all human advice from my perspective. But when you are in a personal situation, you can tell it's like the evil versus the good, right? You can see the difference. And that's just energy. Those are just words that have been made up for how it makes people feel. Some of it makes people feel good, some of it makes people feel evil, and some people are drawn to evil, and some people are drawn to good based on what is inside, what's going on inside. Okay, so if these people are manipulating you, or you're the one catching yourself going, hey, and then all of a sudden it's to make everything comfortable, no matter what the motive is behind that. And then suddenly, if you're not careful, and this is coming from both perspectives of the manipulator and the one that's being manipulated, you have to be in your energy because the one that's manipulating has their eye on the ball of whatever that is. It could be good or bad. Okay. This isn't one dimensional, but just keep in mind that if you're the one being manipulated or sold on something, whether it's a product or come to my house after dinner and we can maybe do something maybe you're not comfortable to do yet, but you're going to say yes because you want to keep the peace or you're not sure. And a lot of times I've like, why did I do that? Why did I say yes to that? Why did I commit to that? We need to start asking ourselves this. And it has to do with this back and forth between if you're not strong in your energy and you've not weeded out the stuff that doesn't feel good or whatever it is that works for you, you're going to keep attracting this stuff. And it's going to come sometimes in cycles where it's literally like, wow, this time last year, I just went through the same thing. Okay. Well, what is it about your surroundings, about what's inside of you, all of it, that doesn't match with how you want to feel? Okay. Maybe it's something as simple as the colors in your house. Maybe it's something way more complex, like all the people that you're around, and you suddenly go, this isn't working for me anymore. That's a thing, especially if you're growing. But you have to be aware of this, because if you're not growing, and let's say you've developed some really bad habits, maybe you're drinking too much, you're eating too many bad things, or not getting good enough sleep, or not exercising, not taking care of yourself. Maybe you're getting in fights with people a lot. And maybe you're like, but this is not what I want. I'm just trying to survive. This is why I warn you guys about getting into survival mode, because we've all been there. I've been in survival mode nonstop for years. And what it does is it puts you on edge, and you're that chaotic energy in there. Even if you can't pinpoint that one thing, it goes back to what I'm saying. It's this mess, and you have to untangle your own mess for. And I'm not saying that all of this is going to make sense either, but what will make sense is once you remove all this stuff and you get in alignment with what you want and what works for you and how you want to feel, that's when you can start adding these little things, these people, these new things into your new life, right? One by one, slowly. And don't overcrowd the situation, because what happens when we do that? It gets more chaotic, right? And a lot of this has to come with acceptance. You have to be willing to say goodbye to certain things, certain people, certain situations, certain habits. So all of these things they sound a lot more complex than they really are. It comes down to one basic thing: energy. Okay. And so I'm not perfect at it. Nobody is, unless, I think, from what I've read and heard and feel, that maybe when you reach a certain point of enlightenment, whatever that means for you, to me, that means like the ultimate ascend, where you're nothing can harm you and you're just a ball of energy that is just adding growth and evolution to pure existence. I think that's what it means to me. At least that's what it means to me today. And this is a journey of learning. So, and I'm going through this in real time with you. Okay. And I've talked about that. Some of this stuff I have more mastered, some of it is new to me. But what I can tell you is I see it in myself and I see it in other people. And it's a human thing where we have these patterns, and it's like, ooh, we got to make sure that we're not putting on a mask for the wrong reasons, right? Now, I'm a firm believer that, once again, there's something to be said about when you're walking and you smile, because when you smile, have you ever noticed other people smile? Okay. You might even be smiling right now. Why? Because I'm smiling. Okay. It's contagious. And sometimes it's nice to be able to, if you're coming from that genuine place, like, okay, maybe I don't feel like smiling right now, but I know the benefits of it. And I know I want to feel that way. So let's do that. That's a great example of knowing what you want, then action, then getting it. It's very simple. I want to feel better. I want to improve my surroundings. I would love to be contagious with my energy no matter what. Okay. And I want to feel better. So I'm going to, almost like, it's like fake it till you make it, brainwash yourself. You have to imagine where you want to be before you're there. And we all wait. We all wait for our surroundings, or for us to feel by nature. And I'm going to do a whole new video on this. But how we wait to feel better. We wait for our surroundings to change. No, no, no. That's not how it works. And I know it's hard, because I find myself as an artist going through this all the time. But you have to sit there and go, okay, I want to smile. I want to feel better. So I'm going to smile. And then I know that by smiling, because it's coming from a genuine place, other people are going to smile. Right. And we don't have these boosts of energy all the time. I get it. A lot of people are like, I don't fucking want to smile. Okay. Give me my coffee, get me out the door. All right. Baby steps though. And I'm not always sunshine and rainbows. You know what I mean? Like, nobody is. But I do like the positive stuff more than I like the evil and the negative stuff. For me, that I don't even like scary movies. I just don't. So, this is all personal, based on me, my needs, my experiences, and my growth. So I hope this helped you today. Remember, simplify, okay? And make sure that whatever you're doing is coming from that genuine place, okay? And remember that if you have a hold on your own energy, no one else can hijack it from you. Energy doesn't lie, okay? So it's a very real thing. I don't think I need to convince you. So I hope that helps you. And just remember that the moment you look yourself in the mirror and you look at the things and ask yourself, why does that happen? Why did I say yes to that? Why did I say no to that? But more, why did I say yes? Because when you say yes to something, you accept the energy and you're accepting things in, and then it starts to snowball. So ask yourself, why did I do that? It's an important question to ask. The chickens are waking up. The sun is coming up here in Key West. Hope you have a great day. See you soon.